Hi, everyone. It's Lora Haines here with JB Training Solutions, and I am so excited to share with you a sneak peek into managing change, confidence in uncertain times. Now, we at JB Training Solutions have an entire suite of amazing courses to help your organization when you're going through a change. But this one right here is specifically tailored to leaders. It is a great fit if you are about to roll out a change and you want to make sure your leaders are equipped to know exactly how to navigate it. This can be a great piece of content, a tool to help deliver to leaders when they're in the midst of it, when they're saying, hey, this changes a lot. I need some tools. I need some help for how to keep up. And it's another really great option when you're just looking for those refresher. Let's sharpen the saw. Let's make sure no matter what comes your way, you are ready for it. Every time that we lead this course, it is full of amazing conversations, amazing insight, and can be completely tailored to whatever change your organization is going for. Let's take a sneak peek. But before we do that, I need you to do me a favor. Much like what you see on my screen, cross your arms for me just like this. Make sure you're holding your arms. Make sure you're doing it. Do it, do it, do it. Hold it for me. How's it feel? Think about it. Think about what kind of changes you've been through. Are you reflecting on it? Think about 2020. Think about 2021. Think about 2022. And now switch arms. Switch those arms for me. How's it feel? A little weird? Something as simple as a quick arm change can create discomfort. Change is inevitable. We know this. Whether it is technology updates, it is outside impacts, it is policy changes, it's turnover. What we know is that the only certainty is that change will happen, but that doesn't mean it's comfortable. In fact, even the smallest changes can create some discomfort. One of the main things that we focus on during this action-packed course is making sure we remember, often it's not even the change. We may not even like the change, but we tend to get comfortable. We tend to at least get used to it. It's not the change, it's the transition. It is before the change happens, knowing it's coming. When's it coming? What is it going to mean? It's while the change is taking place. It's that discomfort. It's wanting to go back to the X. It's saying, I like the way it used to go. I miss the old platform. I miss the old colleague. It's not once we get there. It's not once the changes happen and we're comfortable with it. It's that transition period. In fact, when it comes to change, it can be a lot like being between trapezes. It's Linus when his blanket is in the dryer and there's nothing to hold on to. Maybe you've felt this way before. Maybe you and your organization, you have yourself been feeling like this photo, but you know you have to lead your team, your peers, and your colleagues through the change. When change isn't handled well, there's doubt. We start to think, well, what aren't we telling us? It's when you're in a meeting and you're hearing an announcement, but all you can think is, okay, so that's stage one, but what else is coming? Sometimes there's worry. Are things going to get worse? Is this just round one? What does this mean for my future? And sometimes it's fear. Am I even going to still be here? Am I safe? Is my job secure? What makes change hard is not only is it inevitable and the transition is hard, it often takes longer than we think. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're like, why is this so hard? Why is this still bothering me? I should be used to this by now. If you have, you're not alone. In fact, take a look at this. Only 24% of employees believe that change is well managed. This is not good news for anyone who is a leader and needs to manage change. This means less than 1 in 4 employees say, I felt great about how that was handled. This course is here to solve this right here. In fact, in this dynamic course, we look at what does this mean to lead change greatly? As a leader navigating change, what do we need to make sure we can focus on to hopefully increase that statistics so it is less than 1 in 4 believing change is well managed? We are going to look at the change curve in some detail. But what I love about this particular course is we don't just look at the change curve. We ask as a leader to recognize not only where you might be, but also what does it mean to lead through change effectively? What are proven up-to-date leadership strategies and techniques that you can bring to your team? Throughout this course, if your organization is going through a specific change, we're going to customize every activity to that change. You will leave with a concrete plan. If this is a course that there's not a specific change, it's more just general, let's improve this skill set, we are going to make sure you do activities along the way so that you leave better equipped to navigate any change that comes your way for the rest of your career. As I mentioned, we're going to go into detail looking at the Kubler-Ross change curve, every stage, every step along the way, not just from the lens of here's what happens to you when you're in change, but how also can you spot it in your team. One thing we know for sure is that everyone goes through the curve at a different pace. This is not good news for us as leaders, because you may have some team members that have very quickly onboarded to a new idea, whereas you may have someone else who's really struggling. You may have some people on your team that are like, hey, I feel great. I have everything I need to know. And you may have others that are like, I'm still scared. I'm still uncertain. We cannot treat everyone on our team the same. And when it comes to managing through change, the better we can be at very quickly saying, here's where this person might be, but here's where this other individual might be. And here's what I do with it is what this course is all about. We're also going to talk in detail about the specific challenge of leading greatly when you yourself are a leader with competing commitments. What do you do when you feel you are torn in multiple directions? When you are trying to roll out something new while also maintaining and managing something old? How do you make sure that if you are onboarding a new process, a new system, new employees, you still make sure the rest of the day-to-day can get done effectively? What does this mean when it comes to a leader, and what are those very specific pain points? So as I mentioned, during this course, we are going to go through all 4 steps of the change curve. Let me give you a very sneak peek of what it looks like for stage 1. Stage 1 of this change curve is often shock and denial. It might start with, are we really upgrading the system? Still this year? That's still happening. It might sound good. Awesome, we got the budget. We're going to hire more people. I can't believe it. But in stage 1, what we know is that what we tend to feel when we're in it is a lot of questions. It's a whole lot of unknown, and that unknown can be scary. We find ourselves thinking, well, how soon is this going to happen? Well, what does this mean for me? How's this going to affect my job? How's it going to affect my day-to-day? Is there anything else I should know? Is there something else I should be getting ready for? Am I going to get new training? Am I going to get a chance to talk to someone? It is a whole lot of swirl, and it's a whole lot of unknown. And this is really important to keep in mind. When it comes to managing through change, there's a good chance that you're in stage 1 before your team is. It's a lot like when you're flying. Can anyone else relate to this? Is there anyone, am I the only one? My biggest travel pet peeve in the entire world is this right here. When I get on an airplane, and maybe I have a connecting flight even, so it's really important, my flight stays on time, we sit down, tray table is up, the door closes, and the plane backs up 1 foot from the gate. You ever had that happen? And you sit. So you haven't taken off. You can't pull out your laptop. You can't get work done. The Wi-Fi is maybe on, probably spotty. And you're just sitting and waiting. And no one says anything. And now I look out the window and I can see other planes are leaving. And that's a really frustrating feeling. Other planes are leaving. How come mine's not? And now I'm on my phone and I'm trying to check FlightAware. And FlightAware is telling me that my plane left the gate. And I'm like, yeah, that's technically true, but I am still sitting on the runway. What is going on? And it happens for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes. You ever had that happen? How does it make you feel? This is a lot like what stage 1 is like. Stage 1 is when you know, hey, things are supposed to be happening. And I don't know what. And I want more information than I'm getting. So same scenario, you're still on that airplane, but this time the pilot gets on. Pretty much as soon as you back up off the gate. Back up off the gate, the door closes, you're sitting there, and the pilot goes, hey everyone, this is your pilot. I just wanted to let you know that there is a backup. We are number 5 in line. It's going to be about a 15-minute delay, but no worries, we'll get to your destination on time, and I'll update you if anything changes. The situation is still not ideal, but it just feels better, doesn't it? We have a tendency to be more forgiving when we feel like we're part of an in-progress idea. As a leader, when you are trying to manage through change, this is our job. To the best of our ability, what information can we provide to remove confusion, to remove frustration, to keep that doubt from turning into fear? When it comes to stage 1, communicate continually. No news is bad. We want to the best of our ability to say, you know what, I don't have any updates, but I'll let you know when we do. We had an all-team meeting this morning. We didn't learn anything new, but I'll keep you updated. We may hear an update on Tuesday. If you don't know, it's okay to say you don't know. In fact, you're better off saying, I know a little bit about it, but not enough to share yet. The key here is to do everything you can to remove doubt, to remove fear. Don't assume your team is comfortable. If there's even an inkling a change is going to happen, you are better off creating space to say, hey, how are you feeling? What can I help you with? What are your concerns? Stage 1 is all about information. And what's interesting about stage 1 is the more energy we put into it, the more information we can share up front, it actually can set up every other stage for success, because it just makes it a little bit easier for everyone to navigate through that change curve at their own pace. When it comes to managing through change, we are going to look at every single stage of the change curve in some detail. There will be activities in every single stage, whether it is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, or what do you do when the changes happen to keep that engagement high, stage 4. Keep in mind, as a leader who is managing through change, not only are you navigating your own personal experience with the change, but you are responsible for leading a team that's looking to you and taking their cues from you. In this action-packed and dynamic course, we're going to make sure that you leave with the tools to navigate and manage that change successfully. I hope to see you there.